If you are a true rap fan, then you will know crime and gang violence has become almost normal within the industry. However, sometimes it is taken to the extreme, with more and more rappers being violently murdered. Whether it be gang-related or seemingly out of the blue, murder has plagued this community for decades. Unfortunately, that means some of the most beloved and rising rappers have been brutally killed. Keep watching till the end of this video to see men who have really killed some of the most beloved rappers. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Before we get into the video, subscribe and hit the notification button to be notified when we upload more content. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. Death of King Von. First up on our list is none other than King Von. Von was signed to Lil Durk's record company, Only the Family and Empire Distribution, and swiftly rose to prominence within the rap scene. Von was friends with a lot of rising and big-time rappers, including Lil Durk and Polo G, and his music just continued to get better and better. The Chicago rapper rose to stardom in his hometown before relocating to Atlanta, where he was tragically shot and killed early on November 6, 2020. The altercation took place outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, Georgia. Von and his team reportedly got into an argument with Quando Rondo's crew, one of King Von's biggest ops at the time. Von was shot various times during the altercation, which swiftly escalated into all-out gunfire. The rapper was quickly airlifted to a hospital in critical condition, where he sadly died later that day at the early age of 26. It was reported that 2 people were dead, one of which includes King Von, and a total of 6 persons were injured. News of Von's death spread swiftly, first as a rumor on Twitter and then as confirmed by sources close to the rapper. Ghazi Shami, the CEO and founder of Empire, Von's record company, was the first to confirm the news with an Instagram tribute, informing all of Von's followers. So who was to blame for the rapper's demise? His name is Timothy Leaks, a 22-year-old who was accused with the murder of the Chicago rapper. Atlanta police apprehended Leaks the day after the murder. Only a few months later, Timothy Leaks was released from Fulton County Jail after posting a $100,000 bond. After that, Leaks was eventually freed and fitted with an ankle bracelet. The news of his release obviously enraged so many, especially those who were close to the late rapper, since it was such a senseless and avoidable death. King Von is still fondly remembered by so many, and his music is still loved till this day. Death of Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle, a legend in his own right, was shot at least 10 times in the parking lot of his Marathon clothing store in South Los Angeles at 3:18 p.m. on March 31, 2019. The rapper received a gunshot wound to his chest, a shot to his belly that severed his spinal cord, a bullet to the right side of his back that hit his lung, and a gunshot wound to the top of his scalp. To add to the brutality, Hussle was then kicked in the head by the perpetrator. The shooting also resulted in the injuries of 2 additional people. The rapper was declared dead at 3:55 p.m. after all 3 victims were brought to a hospital. Nipsey was only 33 years old when he died. Before the suspected assailant was arrested, rapper GBO Gaston claimed to have killed Nipsey Hussle in an Instagram post. People aren't sure what prompted him to do so, but most suspect it was for 15 seconds of fame, trying to get more clout and attention. The real suspect was named shortly after, Eric Ronald Holder Jr., then 29 years old, was the police's #1 guy. According to investigations, Holder knew the rapper and that the shooting was possibly motivated by a personal issue between the two. Holder was quickly detained and put in solitary detention by the Los Angeles Police Department on April 2, 2019. Holder was ultimately charged with 1 crime of murder, 2 charges of attempted murder and assault with a handgun, and 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm by a grand jury on May 9th the same year. However, the trial was rescheduled for February 24, 2021, then postponed once more on June 29, 2021. In fact, the trial still has yet to happen, but Nipsey Hussle's friends and family hope this will be the year they finally get justice. Death of Tupac. You may not have known about him while he was still alive, or maybe you weren't even born yet, but there's no doubt you've already heard his name. Tupac Amaru Shakur, often known as Tupac and later by his real name Machiavelli, was an American rapper and actor who was tragically killed on September 13, 1996. Tupac was and continues to be one of the most influential rappers in history. The rapper's music, for the most part, addresses current socio-economic issues facing inner cities, and he was regarded as an anti-equality crusader. On September 7, 1996, Tupac was shot 4 times by an unidentified assailant in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. Tupac's friend turned bitter rival, the Notorious B.I.G., was first considered a suspect following his death due to their public animosity, but was killed 6 months later in a drive-by shooting while visiting Los Angeles. But the biggest question still remains: who was responsible for Tupac's death? There hasn't been any conclusive evidence as to who murdered Tupac Shakur, but there are plenty of controversies that have found their way around the internet. A total of 4 .40 caliber shots were fired from a Glock pistol and hit Tupac in the chest twice, once in the arm and then once in the thigh. The rapper died only 6 days later in the hospital from his wounds and an infection. This rocked the rap community heavily. Tupac, even while still alive and only 25 years old, was a huge influence for so many up-and-coming artists. Death of Mac Miller. Next up on the list is the tragic death of popular rapper Mac Miller. According to police, Miller died in 2018 after taking some pills. An accidental overdose of fentanyl, alcohol, and cocaine was determined to be the cause of his death. Mac Miller was a very beloved American rapper and record producer from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Miller debuted in the Pittsburgh hip-hop and rap scene in 2007 when he was 15 years old and quickly captivated the community. The musician was also extremely upfront about his struggle with addiction. However, at the time it was suspected that he was in a great place mentally and physically. The rapper was last seen alive by his assistant on September 6, 2018 at 10:30 p.m. The following morning, the same assistant discovered him dead in his bedroom. Paramedics were rushed to the home but pronounced him dead on the scene. One of the 3 men that were indicted in the deadly overdose of rapper Mac Miller agreed to plead guilty and take on a 17-year prison sentence. Stephen Walter is his name, and he has admitted to giving the singer fentanyl, a highly potent drug that is recorded to be about 50 times stronger than heroin. Walter, 48, did not directly deliver the tablets to Miller, according to the plea agreement. However, he knowingly and purposely authorized a second guy to provide fentanyl to Miller's dealer, Cameron James Petit, in the form of counterfeit oxycodone tablets. It goes on to say that Walter knew the pills included fentanyl or some other federally banned narcotic. Miller was then allegedly given the drugs by Petit. The other 2 people charged are Petit and Rivas. According to Walter's plea deal, Miller, also known as MM, would not have died from an overdose if not for the fentanyl contained in the pills. Pretty scary, right? That's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're new to the channel to be notified when we upload more content. Thanks.